Thank you for tuning in. We do have a hurricane potential going to make landfall on Thursday. The time is they're thinking in the middle of the day, probably around noon, 10 a.m., noon. So I'll show you kind of the current graphs right now. I mean, it could change depending on if this thing slows down, if it speeds up, it could impact the time of when this is going to make impact. So I'll show you what we're kind of forecasting rain-wise, so that way that you have a good idea and understanding of what the potential impacts of this potential system, of what it could do on Thursday. Okay, so it's right now it is organizing, and it's going to be a tropical system by tomorrow morning. I say by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, this thing's going to be a tropical system, which means that it's going to reach its max wind speeds around 39 miles per hour. And so once it reaches 39 miles per hour, then they will declare that a potential tropical storm 9. That's the Cyclone 9 is what they're calling it, National Hurricane Center. And then once it does form, and then once it reaches its max winds, let's say if it does reach its max wind speeds at 73 miles an hour, they will declare that as a Category 1 hurricane. But they're thinking this is going to be at least a Category 3 hurricane. If you've been watching my channel, if you've been watching anything that I've been telling you guys, I've been telling you at least a Category 2, a Category 3, and maybe possibly a Category 4. I didn't see this one being a low-end hurricane just because of the impacts that you'll see here in just a second. Now, this is the current infrared satellite image of this storm being created. We see another hurricane over here in the western part of Mexico forming, and that thing is it's getting strong. And the water right now in the ocean is just so warm, especially right where this is at. And, I give you guys all the warnings, so I'll make another video tomorrow on what you can do to prepare for this particular storm. You want to probably have it all your stuff ready by Wednesday night. The National Hurricane Center did issue that today. You'd want to have all of the stuff that you want to have ready by Wednesday night. So let's dive right into our track. Where is this thing going to go? So let's take a look. So let's rewind here. So it's going to make landfall. Okay, so it's going to go up right here in the Panhandle. That's the sweet spot of Florida. And it's just the way that the waters are. That warm water just drags it. So we're looking, middle of the day. We're looking at the middle of the day impacts here. But you also have to remind yourself too that if it speeds up, it could get there faster. If it slows down, it could take a little bit more time to get to Florida. So you kind of have to give the National Hurricane Center a little bit of leeway on time. They're usually pretty good, as far as when they're expecting this to make impacts. So Wednesday night is when you should have all the necessary things that you have. Make sure that you have a full gas tank. Make sure to have cash on hand. Get all your medical supplies. Gather everything. Get your food, your water for the next 2 weeks at least. Just make sure to be prepared. So what are you expecting as far as what are we expecting as far as rain totals in these areas? Now, I've been kind of keeping my eye. I haven't seen anything drastically change over the last week. When I did tell everybody about, this potential storm going to be making impacts, I definitely want to like give people warnings and advanced, to prepare if there's any potential big storms coming in their area. So let's take a look here. We're seeing 6 inches here, another 7 inches, some 8 inches. So let's take a look here. Now I might just zoom out and kind of get a good where these storms are, going to take shape, because it's hard to really understand where the impacts and where, and it's gonna affect a lot of people down here in the Mid-Atlantic region too. Seeing a lot of rain totals in these areas too. So you want to make sure that if you're in these areas, you want to make sure to, get your stuff ready too, because unless you haven't had a lot of rain. So again, 6 to 8 inches around here. The slow pressure system may go this way too, by the way. And this could change. I mean, if this storm reaches a category 4, it could impact the way that the storm surges. And the reason I think the last hurricane didn't make such a big impact was because the wind impacts. So the stronger, and they're expecting 115 mile an hour winds, make an impact in the middle of the day, Thursday. That'll be on, let me look at my calculator here, on the 26th. So just FYI, the 26th is when they're expecting this potential hurricane to make impact in these areas. So anyways, I'll keep posting daily videos with this. If there's anything that changes, obviously you'll know the next day, but come back and, if you see new videos, there's something new, maybe the trajectory could change. I mean, it could move west, it could move this way, but most likely it's probably going to move this way. I've always realized that most of these storms, if it does move anyway, it may move east a little bit. So, and it could, if it does, it could, further impact other areas over here versus over here. So impacts are going to be huge. So anyways, if this was helpful, make sure to like the video. Don't forget to share this with anybody that you may know that lives in these areas. And they're thinking a Category 3 hurricane, possibly Category 4 hurricane. So once it reaches 129 miles an hour, that's when it could reach a Category 4 status. So anyways, right now it's at 115. So anyways, I hope this helps, and I'll keep you guys updated with the latest severe weather updates. So please make sure to follow to keep up with all the news. Thanks.